Welcome to the Schluter Systems Tips and Tricks video series. Today I'm here to share a couple tips and techniques for installing the Schluter KERDI waterproofing membrane to help achieve a successful tile project. It's essential to obtain proper thin-set mortar coverage to ensure waterproof performance and support for the tile covering. We'll cover the following points in this video: thin-set mortar consistency, substrate preparation, mortar application, embedding the membrane, and checking coverage. Let's get started. When installing KERDI, be sure the thin-set mortar is mixed to a fairly fluid consistency but still able to hold a notch. If the mortar is too thick, it will be difficult to embed the membrane and the mortar may not transfer to the KERDI bonding fleece as required. Wipe down the walls with a damp sponge to remove any dust and other debris. For particularly dry and porous substrates, it's recommended to wet the substrate first in order to help prevent premature drying or skinning of the thin-set mortar. Once the mortar has been mixed to the proper consistency, apply it to the area where the KERDI is to be installed using a notched trowel. A 1/4 inch by 3/16 inch V-notch trowel or the Schluter KERDI trowel, which features a 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch square notch design, is used to apply the mortar. Apply a thin layer of the mortar with the flat side of the trowel to produce solid contact with the substrate, and then comb additional mortar using the notch side of the trowel. Hold the trowel at a 45-degree angle when combing the mortar. Holding the trowel at a lower angle will result in less mortar being applied and can result in poor coverage under the membrane. Embed the KERDI membrane into the thin-set mortar using the flat side of the trowel or a drywall finishing knife to ensure full coverage and remove air pockets. Starting in the middle of the sheet and working to the outside can make it easier to eliminate air pockets behind the membrane. Lift up a corner of the membrane to check coverage. Proper installation results in full contact between the fleece webbing and the thin-set mortar. Re-embed the membrane. If full coverage is not achieved, remove and reapply, making sure to verify proper mortar consistency and application. Let's recap some important considerations when installing KERDI. Mix the thin-set mortar so that it has a fairly fluid consistency but is still able to hold a notch. Clean any dust from the substrate and wet particularly dry and porous substrates before applying the mortar. Apply the mortar to the substrate using the flat side of the trowel and comb additional mortar using the notch side. Hold the trowel at a 45-degree angle. Solidly embed the membrane, starting from the middle of the sheet and working to the outside. Periodically check to verify you're achieving proper coverage and adjust your approach if required. Hope these tips help next time you're installing KERDI. Thanks for joining us for our tip of the day.